Heart's in my mouth a bit. We've had some rain, an awful lot of rain. It rained all day yesterday. And I've just come to that site that's a bit prone to be flooding. And oh my God. Oh dear. I'm going to have to reassess this. Bees are flying. Oh my God. It's come too close. It's come too close. I'm going to have a word with the farmer and try and relocate, I think. Hell. I think they're all okay. We've got away with it, but only just. The following morning, we've had a lot more rain overnight and there's more forecast for today and tomorrow. Something has to be done to try and get those hives above the water. I don't know quite how deep it's going to be, so perhaps easier to stick a pair of waders on rather than mess about with my wellies. My initial thoughts were to take a box stand for each hive and then go to the site, gently lift each hive up, place one of these on the existing stands and lower the hive back on. Problem with that is, of course, once I rethought it, that as I lift the hive up, the stand below is going to float away. Just won't work. I've got to keep the hives in position to keep the stands weighed down. There's no other way around it. A couple of minutes later, once the brain's kicked in properly, I've got to take them off and put some cross stands on, any bits of timber really, just so I can try and lift the hives best I can. Oh dear. I'm placing the bits of wood down on top of the hives as gently and quietly as I can. The last thing I want is bees flying out over this. If we can keep them in the hive, all the better. It's just got close enough. Just giving them all a bit of smoke. Try and keep them in the hive. I don't really want them coming out today if I can avoid it. I'm going to try and do everything as gently and quietly as possible with the least disturbance to the bees. It's only as I watch this back that I'm thinking the water's perhaps no higher than it was the night before. Is this the natural high point of it? Do I need to do this? Anyway, I'm still happy it's done. Better safe than sorry. I'm putting 2 bits of wood under both the front and the back of the hive. But I can only put one in at a time, otherwise the angle I'm having to tip the hive to is a bit precarious and I get the feeling the whole lot's going to slide off and into the water. So it's taking a bit longer, but safety first approach to this one. Well, I've got them under. I put 2 bits of rail, 2 cross stands, or a pair of cross stands under each hive to lift them about 3 inch. There's 12 hives are really affected. Those in the middle are the worst. The 2 right at the end here, fairly well out of the water, so I've only put 1 bit of wood under each front and back of them hives, and I'm going to use the spare ones. Small bits there, and there's some others in the barrow, and I think I'll take some more in the barrow there, and I'm going to lift these worst affected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to lift them 6, maybe them in 2 as well, lift them up another 1. Is it good enough? I don't know, only time will tell. Well, I've got them jacked up best I can. A bit short of bits of wood. I had some spare bricks here, found some more in the wood there. So, they're up out of the water more than they were. Have I done enough? I've even done the right thing, but I've been better off trying to move. I just don't know, time will tell. Whatever happens, I'll cope better with the end result, knowing that I've at least tried. So I've just done nothing. No, that's not exactly this. I'd find that very difficult to cope with. But at least I have tried, and hopefully they're going to be alright. There is more rain forecast for today and into tomorrow. I just think it's got to stop sometime, but no sign of it in the immediate future anyway. Fingers crossed for them, eh? It's been a week of focusing and thinking about threats to both the bees and the beekeeping industry. The floods, for one thing. And then on Tuesday, 5th of December, I went to a bee farmers meeting at York. An interesting meeting. We had a guest speaker, Lynn Ingram. She's a beekeeper of some 40 years standing herself. She's also a campaigner against honey fraud. She went to Apiary, which is the International Federation of Beekeeping Associations. They hold a show every other year, a meeting, a congress, different parts of the world every time. And in 2019, it was held in Montreal in Canada, and Lynn attended that. And for the first time, Apiary decided to run some tests on all the honey entries into the honey show. As a result of that, 47% of the exhibits were withdrawn, banned in effect, due to chemical residues, antibiotic residues, syrup, addition of syrup to bulk the honey up and so on. And this made Lynn wonder just how much of a problem this honey fraud is. As a result of this, Lynn set up HAN UK, and HAN stands for Honey Authenticity Network. And their aim is to try and make both beekeepers, bee farmers and the general public aware of the problems associated with honey, imported honey in particular. They're also trying to make the relevant authorities step up to the mark a bit more and do a lot more analysis of honey imports. The problem at the moment is that it's both lengthy and expensive to test honey for all these issues, and it needs a specific test to test for a specific problem. So one test can test for the addition of cane or beet sugar, another test has to be run to detect corn syrup additions, yet another test for antibiotic residues. And this makes the authorities perhaps not as keen to do these tests as they should be. There is some hope in all this, in that the British Beekeepers Association and the Scottish Bee Company are working with Aston University to try and develop a one test fits all solution. And the test's based on light spectroscopy. More than that, I can't really tell you because it's way beyond me. But hopefully they'll have some success with that. Yeah, if you get a chance to listen to Lynn, do so. She's a great speaker. She's so passionate and energetic about this issue. And even to me, somebody like me who's been involved in the honey industry for close on 50 years, I had no idea of the extent of this problem. It isn't just the adulteration of honey, there's also what they call honey laundering. So basically, honey laundering, honey can be produced in a country which perhaps has a reputation for not being the most scrupulous as regards keeping the honey pure and unadulterated. It's then shipped to another country, rebadged, relabelled, a separate country of origin put on it, and then put on the world market. And they've discovered that some countries which just simply don't have the floral resources or the climate to produce large quantities of honey suddenly are becoming world leaders in honey production. So that's another case they're fighting. All power to them. She's doing a great job, and as I say, if you get a chance to listen to her, do so. It's fascinating stuff. I know I sound like I'm having a proper whinge about this, but it is becoming a serious issue. This adulteration and laundering of honey is driving prices down on the wholesale market, and I know beekeepers who have large stocks of honey just can't move it at the moment. At the same bee farmers meeting, we also had some bee inspectors there. These people are responsible for monitoring bee health in the UK. They'll check hives for signs of disease and so on, and deal with it appropriately where necessary. Part of their remit is also to deal with the incursion of Asian hornets, which we're finding at the moment. The Asian hornet, yellow-legged hornet, some people call it, a serious pest, a serious potential threat to our bees and to pollinators of all sorts, not just the honeybees. I was pulled up a little in September when they announced that they found a nest at Yarm on the Cleveland, North Yorkshire border. I have bees within 5 miles of that particular nest where that nest was found, and yeah, it comes as a bit of a shock. We've got to expect them. They're blowing on the wind from France, and in fact, one interesting case, there was a queen found, I think in April, up in Northumberland, and that was found by somebody working at a zoo, and they were cutting up cauliflowers to feed some of the animals there, and a queen hornet fell out of the cauliflower. So, and those cauliflowers come from Brittany, where the hornets are rife. So it's difficult to see how much longer we can forestall the establishment of these insects. The bee inspectors are doing a great job, and fortunately they did manage to track and destroy the one at Yarm. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting time in the future with those things about. The horrible things. I mean, I talked to one of the bee inspectors, and they said that the real issue with them can be from July onwards, when the hornet nests build up in strength and in numbers, and they'll basically hawk in front of beehives. They'll hover over the hives and grab bees as they enter and exit the hive. And I've read elsewhere that within 30 seconds of capturing a bee, they've severed its head off. They then take the remains back to the nest, dismember the bee. I believe they use the wing muscles, the protein out the wing muscles, to feed to their own developing larvae. I've been told that sometimes when the hornets are strong in numbers, the bees just won't leave the hive. They just refuse to go. People have described the bees as being depressed, down at heart, lacklustre. It's going to be serious. How serious we won't know, I suppose. And I think there's, from what I've heard in France, they have good years and bad years with them. Some years are not so disastrous as others. But some people are saying honey crops are cut by 90% because of them. I just don't know. I don't know. Sorry, it's not been a very happy one, this, but it's what it is. I don't believe in making up fairy stories. I like to tell things as I see them. And admittedly, I'm more of an Eeyore than a Tigger, and tend to be a little bit more on the gloomy side of things, perhaps. Realistic, I call it, realistic. I don't believe in sugarcoating anything. So anyway, we'll just have to see where we go with it all. But we did have a happy ending to Saturday anyway. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.